Hello, my name is Bryan Cassill, and I'm the Commercial and Formulation Manager for Mars Horse Care at BUCKEYE Nutrition. And let's talk about hays for the senior horse that you may be trying to cut some calories out of. There's a lot of thought of the difference in between alfalfa hay and grass hay, and the negatives and positives of both. And alfalfa gets hung up in this idea that it is high protein, it will cause my horse to be hot, it's going to create this big insulin response in my animal. And what we understand now that that's not necessarily true. Right? So protein, the nice thing about protein is it creates satiety. So it creates, when you eat a meal, you're not as hungry, and hopefully we felt that ourselves if we had a high protein meal. Same thing with all animals, right? Creates this cascade of hormones that decreases the hunger level in your horse. So that increase in that protein will help with that. Also, a high calcium level decreases the ulcer risk, along with protein, when you think about gastric issues in the horse. The interesting part is that if you have a horse that is insulin dysregulated, and you're worried about sugars and starches, those sugars and starches will usually run higher in that grass hay than what it will in your alfalfa hay. Okay? So there's a good pieces there when you're thinking about, am I pro alfalfa, am I pro legume, or if I'm pro grass, what side am I going to lie in? And part of it is to think about how you're going to feed these horses, right? So if those horses need a forage in front of them all the time so they can keep grazing, so they can keep a healthy hind gut. But if you're looking at decreasing those starch and sugars in your forage, a great way to do it is by adding a legume into it. Right? And it's going to increase that protein, it's going to decrease the sugar and starches in your total diet, and it's going to create some real positives when you think about gastric health.